Overwatch 2 Season 13 will be going live tomorrow, and we actually got the patch notes for Season 13 today of all the balance changes, plus a few additional things that they're going to be adding to the game, and a few other additions as well. So, not going to be really too much on screen. I'm going to be going through the Overwatch forums patch notes page with all the breakdowns and all the balance changes and that type of thing. So, kind of unfortunate. It's looking like Season 13 is going to be more of a filler season. Not really going to be too much content-wise apart from overpriced skins and a bunch more awful balance changes, which we'll get into. I'm going to be real with you guys, like, kind of skimming through these balance changes. It could be way worse, but I think the major issue with this balance patch, just going into this as, like, kind of a spoiler, is there's not nearly enough stuff here that they actually changed. And a few of the things they did change literally make 0 sense. But that's Blizzard, and that's every single new season. I don't know what we're to expect at this point. If you're somebody going into a new season of Overwatch with high hopes, you're always going to be let down every single time. I've learned that already, so be like me, go into a season with 0 expectations. That way you can't be let down when the season drops. Not going to be too much on screen. I'll probably just throw some gameplay in the background for you guys. So if you guys want to tap out, listen to me talk, that's completely fine. I'm going to try not to make this an incredibly long video. But there's going to be some shit here I'm going to be talking about for quite a while. Because I do want to talk about it in depth with you guys. So, like I said, if you guys want to check the patch notes out there on the Overwatch Blizzard forums, you guys check them out. They're either in the Overwatch Discord, there's a link to them. They never post them on their Twitter for whatever, or their X. Like a link to them on there, so I don't know. They're not mentioning too much anyways. Like, there really isn't much here. Like I said, it's a filler season, and there's not nearly enough balance changes here to begin with, which we'll talk about. So you guys aren't missing very much. So I think if you guys listen to me go through it, I think that's probably good enough for most of you. I'll throw it on screen for you guys right now. Leave a like, subscribe, share the video. Let's get right into this. By all means, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below as well. Let me know what you guys have to say about everything, or what you guys think of everything in the patch notes. Got the intro to Season 13. I'm not going to really read any of this. It's kind of just an overview of what we're going to be in. We're going to be in the Overwatch X My Hero Academia skins. They're going to be in the game from October 17th to the 30th. If you guys have $75 to $80 laying around, and you do not care about your money, by all means, go buy them. I will not be buying any of the collaboration skins, because one, at least when you guys are seeing this, I'm probably going to be moving in about 3 to 4 days, so I'm absolutely fucking broke. Spoiler, moving actually is really costly, so absolutely flat out broke right now, so the last thing I'd be buying is a bunch of overpriced skins that are not worth $80, that's for sure. Apart from that, we got the Halloween Terror event as well, which is like a little LTM mode. It's pretty much a limited hero mode with, like, I think a handful of heroes with a bunch of PvE talent / like ability type things. It's one of those things you'll play it once and you'll never play it ever again. If not even once. I'm not even going to bother playing it because it's just a waste of time. And there's no incentive to play it at all. Hero Mastery for McCree and Brig. I don't know who the fuck plays Hero Mastery, I really don't. If you're one of the very few people that actually play this, then props to you, you got some more to do if you play it for these heroes, but I feel like the Hero Mastery shit every new season is just a waste of dev time. Nobody plays this at all. Such a waste of time. General updates. Interactive scoreboard. This is something I'm actually going to be talking about a little bit. They actually got an interactive scoreboard. My main thing is I play on console. And specifically on the Nintendo Switch. So, how is this going to work on the Switch? Is this going to be for console or just going to be for PC? There's nothing here that actually kind of specifies what it's going to really be for, so pretty much what they're going to be doing from the scoreboard, you can actually adjust people's mic volume, your own mic volume. You can report people from the scoreboard, which is huge. You don't have to go all the way to the social menu and scroll all the way down on somebody's name to report them, so it's a lot easier for that way, which is going to be really handy for me because I report somebody almost every other game with how fucking bad people are. Whether they're throwing my games, they're leaving my ranked games, they're sitting on the voice chat, talking shit, like whatever it may be. That'll make it a lot easier to get people banned, hopefully. It only really helps if they actually follow up on bans, which they haven't really been doing, so. Report all the people you want, But if they don't fucking ban anybody, it makes literally no difference, so whatever. Joining / leaving team chat, joining and leaving a group voice chat, muting text chat, muting match chat, muting text chat for other players. Just put more options you can actually get to a lot easier through the scoreboard, so it's kind of a quality of life change. Really cool. Not really, there's really no downside to this. Like, that's actually a good change, a good overall quality of life change, which we should have had a long time ago, but I'm still glad we got it. Just start banning more people, that's the main thing. If they're gonna make it easier to start reporting people mid-match, they need to start fucking banning people. Nobody's getting banned at all. What else we have? We have the matchmaking updates. This is mainly something for like your higher tiers of play. I'm not gonna really talk about this very much, but tuning changes reduced queue times for wide matches in competitive play. So if you're in a wide group, you have a little bit more of, I think it's faster queue time. It kind of depends what wide game you are as well, because if you're in your mid-tier games, say you're like a gold tier player and like a group of like silver and bronze players, and it happens to be like a wide match, you still usually end up finding a match pretty damn quick in like your mid-tiers. I think it's mainly for like your high tiers of play. At least when I'm playing a wide game, usually like my gold, plat to silver lobbies with the most of my friends, where that's where their ranks usually are, around there. Even in a wide match, it only takes about 2 to 3 minutes to find a game maxed. So whatever. Lost streak avoidance tuned down to prevent lost cases where it can increase worst case scenario queue times. Rule delta tuning, try to make match ranks on rules on teams more closely. So tanks are going to have closer rank prioritization because barely anybody plays tank. I wonder why, especially with some of the balance changes we're going to be getting and we're going to be going into here in a little bit. You wonder why nobody wants to fucking play tank. Public custom games. This is a new thing they're going to be doing for custom games. I'm not sure why. It really makes no sense. It just makes people not want to actually get into the game, or new players not want to play. It's one less thing they can actually do. It really makes no sense, but hosting a public custom games lobby now requires an endorsement level 3. Why? So if I'm a brand new player and I want to host a custom game and I'm first getting into Overwatch, you're going to prevent me from playing the game? That makes a lot of sense. That's really stupid. Really, really dumb. Don't know why that restriction even exists. Streamer mode. Access to the hide my name function of streamer mode now requires completing the Unrelenting Hero Lifetime Challenge. I'm not sure what that challenge exactly is. If you guys know, let me know in the comments down below. I'd have to go check, but I'm assuming it's something that you only get after playing the game for quite a while. You can probably get it done by playing the game, I'm assuming. Or have like a certain number of like hero mastery levels on like every hero, maybe. That's what it probably is. I'm not sure. Challenge updates. Select challenges now visible in the main menu. That's a nice quality of life change. Shop updates. You gotta update that shop. Man, they need that money. They're such a poor company, all there, and they need that money. Bear with Blizzard. They're just a small indie company. They don't have enough money to survive. They gotta make those shop updates and make it easier to go buy all those overpriced skins. Competitive updates. Top 500 requirement to appear in the top 500 leaderboard has changed. A win requirement per season reduced from 50 to 25. The season competitor challenge, 750 lifetime wins in comp play, is now required to be completed to be on the top 500 leaderboard. So if you want to get to top 500 now, y'all, not only do you need to get to top 500, or even on the, it won't even put you on the leaderboard, you gotta get to top 500 plus have at least 750 lifetime games played in competitive. I'm assuming this is for the people, the Smurf accounts, to kind of combat smurfing in higher tiers. I think that's what this really is. If you're average tier player, this doesn't really matter. I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to combat, because a Smurf account's not going to have like 750 ranked games played, or ranked wins in comp. That's just wins. 750 wins. Good luck doing that in a small amount of time. I think that's just more to combat Smurfs in your higher tier, so that it doesn't spoof the leaderboard for top 500. I'm assuming that's what that's for. For your average Joe Schmo like me and like 90% of the other people that actually have a life, and can't sit on the game 24/7, 365, or stream the game for a living like a no-lifer, then it doesn't really matter for you, so. Hero updates. Here we get into the balance, y'all. This is where the meat and the potatoes for this entire video is going to be. I'm going to be spending the most time on this. We got a absolute shit ton of balance changes that make 0 sense. So get ready. Get your clown shoes ready and get your clown horn ready, because we're going to take a trip into the clown car, and we're going to go to Blizzard HQ and ask them why the fuck they're even doing half these balance changes. Maybe we can dress them up as a clown too, because they sure balance like some. I think clowns, like literal clowns, would probably balance the game better. Or a 2-year-old. But yet another one of those seasons where the balance is garbage. Don't get me wrong, there's a few changes here that are actually really good, but majority of these make no sense. General update. Swapping your hero hides your selection from the enemy's scoreboard for 15 seconds. Pretty much what this is, it's something to combat. It's mainly in your higher tiers of play. So the main problem is tank counter swapping. You just have the tanks counter swapping non-stop in spawn, just looking at whatever else they're swapping to and basing it off that. Now you're not going to be able to see what the enemy team's swapping to until they leave spawn, pretty much. So it makes it a little bit more unpredictable. It's mainly for your higher tiers of player, like your stacking games, or you're like 5 stacks playing against each other. That's kind of what it's really for. In your average, like, solo queue lobbies where the matchmaking is absolutely abysmal, and you're going to get rolled 90% of your games anyways, no matter what you play, it does not matter, so whatever. Here we got the balance changes, y'all. They're buffing Malga. How fucking stupid do you need to be to buff Malga? Another tank that is so goddamn unfun to play against, and now they're buffing him again. Did they not learn their lesson from Season 9 when he was put into the game? How fucking awful he was to play against. He ruined the entire game for like over a month and a half when he was first put in the game. You think they would learn. Yeah, we cannot buff Malga very much. If we buff him more, he's going to be broken again, and he's going to be so unfun to play against. Who gives a fuck? They'll play our game anyways. Give us money for skins. Buff Malga. There we go. That's pretty much what they think. Who cares? Do they give a fuck about the players? No, they don't. I don't know about you guys, but I fucking hate playing against Malga. He is so fucking unfun to play against. I absolutely fucking hate it. Him and Orisa, and especially Reinhardt recently too, which is going to be even better this patch, because, spoiler alert, they actually fucking nerfed Ramatra into the fucking ground. The main check to Reinhardt is gone, so he's going to be pub stomping all your lower to mid tier lobbies. Guaranteed. So get ready for the Reinhardt meta, y'all. Reinhardt's going to be fucking stomping all your lower to mid tier lobbies. Cannot wait to go against that garbage.
No one can stop me.
Only thing that was holding him back from that was Diva being really good, which he's got nerfed, which isn't nearly as good as into him, and Ramatra, which was the main thing stopping him. We'll talk about it in a bit, though. We got the buff to Malga. Ignite damage over time duration increase from 3 to 4 seconds. May not seem like a huge change, but it really is when you're playing against him, especially when he's gaining so much health back and doing so much more damage. Awful balance change. Here we got Ramatra. Ramatra, don't get me wrong, he was one of the best tanks in the game. Was he really, like, broken to go against? Not really. I don't mind playing against Ramatra because he actually has weaknesses, unlike a lot of other shit like Orisa and, like, a few other things being played currently. Even, like, Diva, I think, still way overtuned. Why don't they nerf stuff like Orisa and, like, even, like, Zarya and some of the other tanks that are still really broken? I have no idea, but they're nerfing Ramatra into the ground. No longer pierces projectiles with his pummel, which is like his fist punching form. No longer pierces the barriers. Now deals 2.5 times more damage to shield/barriers. So what the fuck reason is there to play Ramatra now? There is literally zero reason to play Ramatra. Ramatra went from being one of the top tanks in the game now to this simple change of him getting fucking killed, and this rework to his pummel, making him probably one of the worst tanks in the entire game. Right alongside Roadhog and probably Winston. There you go. Garbage. And there's another balance change too that like literally just gets rid of the identity of a hero. They did the same thing with Kiriko. They took away her headshot multiplier, which made her really unique compared to the other cast of heroes in the game. And now they do the same thing to Ramatra. They can't give the guy a fucking mythic skin either, but they can sure balance the guy and nerf him into the ground. I can see why they never gave him a mythic either, because they were planning to nerf him into the ground for this season. No wonder he never got a mythic for season 12. Now we know. That's why they were going to nerf him into the ground, because nobody would be playing him, and they didn't want to. They knew he was never going to sell much skins if that was the case. There you go. Completely lost his identity. Probably the top 3 worst tanks in the game now after this patch goes live. Hopefully this gets reverted. I'm assuming it might if enough people complain, but I don't know why this is even in the patch notes to begin with. Really stupid. If you're somebody like me too, like my only other tank that I actually do play apart from Hog has been Ramatra, just to go against Reinhardt because he's so annoying. And like I can't even do that anymore. Lucky me, another tank that I was starting to play gets nerfed into the ground. You cannot make this shit up. That's nice. Reinhardt, they're nerfing his shield by 100 health. This literally does nothing. I'm telling you guys right now, Reinhardt is going to be the epitome of a pub stomper in your lower to mid-tier ranked games. This guy is going to fucking run through all your lobbies. He was already running through your lobbies towards the end of Season 12, and he's especially going to do it now, especially because Ramatra got nerfed. The only things that can maybe stop him are like Orisa still really pretty good into him, and like there's one or two other tanks that can maybe kind of check him, at least somewhat. But like apart from that, the main one was Ramatra, and he can't do shit to you now, so he just gets ran over by us. So if you guys want to easily pub stomp all your lower to mid tier ranked lobbies, pick Reinhardt and you just fucking swing at everything and then pin everything and just be really aggressive as fuck, and then hope your team follows you around the map and you just easily win all your games. As long as you're at least getting somewhat a decent amount of heals and you're at least one of your supports and one of your DPS plays with you, you just roll the lobby and you just win every single game. Ask me how I know, because I knew somebody that literally went through the entirety of Silver with playing that way this past season. So they got to gold by playing Reinhardt. So there you go. Damage, we got Hanzo. They buffed his base health from 225 back up to 250. Who cares? They should be nerfing Hanzo. I don't know how fucking... you can argue like he's still balanced, but I don't know about you guys, but every time I play against him, it's really frustrating playing against a Hanzo and then randomly getting one-tapped across the map again. It's so frustrating. And you'll be like, well, how the fuck did I... Oh, I got headshotted, and you see the Hanzo in the kill cam just sitting in spawn, shooting arrows, and you happen to get hit a headshot from all the way in fucking spawn. Just by a random arrow. That's real fun to play against, Blizzard. You guys are great. Why the fuck are you buffing Hanzo? I know it's a small change, but whatever. Sojourn. They're dumbing down Sojourn again. Now they're buffing her again. Still a really good DPS. I think her and Ashe are definitely probably the 2 best hit scans currently, and then Widow's also really good. Widow's going to be even better after Sombra got changed, which we'll talk about next. But those are probably like the 3 best ones currently. Railgun, energy no longer stops degrading at 25 energy, so no matter what, you're always going to have 25 energy for your railgun. It's never going to go down to 0. That's a huge change. Time before energy degradation begins increased from 7 to 12 seconds, so you're going to have more time to actually shoot and charge your energy before it degrades, down to 25, which is huge. Disruptor shot, damage per second increased from 60 to 80, now generates 25% of the damage done to enemy players as railgun energy. So the big AoE ball type thing that she shoots out and it goes into like an AoE, like spherical thing or whatever it is, that thing that actually does damage, it's going to actually charge your railgun for you now if it's doing damage. All this really does, it just dumbs down Sojourn. That's all this really does. She was already really easy and straightforward to play. All it really does is make her even easier to play. Like, they're literally just dumbing her down to make her good for everybody. I don't know. We're going back to when Sojourn was broken. They nerfed the fuck out of her, and then she was actually manageable for the first time ever, like 1 or 2 seasons ago. And now they just keep on buffing her for these past 2 seasons. Enough is enough. We don't want to have a Sojourn being the best DPS in the game again. She's not fun to play against at all. Here's the only balance change I think I might actually 100% agree with out of this entire season. This is probably the best balance change that they've ever done for like these past at least 3 or 4 seasons. They took Sombra and they nerfed her into the goddamn fucking ground. Good. Go through the changes real quick because all these make a lot of sense, and I'm glad they're finally nerfing her and getting her out of the fucking game pretty much. Probably the most annoying DPS to ever play against, especially if you're playing support. Absolute fucking pain in the ass to play against. She pretty much makes the game unplayable if you're playing support. Hate her. And even tank, if she just stands there and hacks the tank the entire game, it's so frustrating. Hack, no longer in stealth, but does reveal her. Hacked ability lockout duration increase, that's huge. Reduced, that's technically kind of a buff. Bob hacked duration reduced. So instead of 10 seconds, which is pretty much the entirety of Bob being hacked, now it's only 3 seconds. That's a huge nerf to hack. So Bob's going to actually be effective versus Sombra now, because you can't hack Bob and actually pretty much have it be gone the entire duration of it being deployed. So that's kind of cool. Stealth. No longer passive and now activates by using the translocator. So her stealth is no longer her passive ability. It's actually an ability now again, y'all, just like Overwatch 1. Hallelujah, no more infinite stealth. Finally, it took them long enough. Now is a 5-second duration. Added a stealth timer around the reticle and removed the ability icon. Taking damage now reveals Sombra for 1 second instead of ending the stealth, which is fine. As long as you know where she is, she'll just keep popping in and out of stealth anyways, so whatever. But the main thing is now she only has 5 seconds of stealth. It's not infinite, so you can't just fucking spawn camp somebody, or spawn camp supports the entire game, which is one of the main huge problems she would have playing against her. Translocator, they increased the cooldown, good. EMP increased the ultimate cost by 12%, so it's going to take even more damage to get the EMP, good. And Opportunist, the Opportunist passive has been added back. Increases Sombra's weapon damage versus hack targets by 20%. See critically injured enemies through walls, so pretty much they brought back like her Overwatch 1 passive and replaced the stealth passive with it. So she does get the extra boost damage versus people she actually hacks. But it's going to be a lot more difficult to actually hack them, and a lot of the durations for the hack actually went down. So it's a lot easier to check and actually kind of counter with. These are all good changes. Pretty much what this is saying is that, yeah, the Sombra rework we tried to do with her was an absolute abysmal failure, which I said on release. I was like, yeah, they're going to eventually change this back because it's an absolute abysmal failure. They're not saying it here, but pretty much what these changes are is that pretty much admits that it was a failure. They're kind of reverting her back to like half Overwatch 1 status, pretty much. So, I don't even know why they bother reworking Sombra. Like, I knew it was a waste of time to begin with. I was one of the only people saying that they're eventually going to have to revert her back with how broken she's going to be. I got so much shit for that. Who was the one that was right now? I want to see those people in the comments. They're probably not going to show up because they know I'm right. Made them eat my words. What else? We have supports. Baptiste got a buff. Primary fire recoil reduced by 30%. I don't know why they're... If you guys want a really good pub stomper support too, I think the most underrated support in the entire game is Baptiste. He is one of those supports that you can probably, if you're at least somewhat decent at him, he has all the tools and even like the damage numbers to pretty much carry a team on his back, especially in like your lower to mid tier lobbies. Not only does he have crazy damage that rivals some of the damage in the game from the damage heroes, but he has crazy heals. Immortality field is crazy. He has mobility with being able to leap into the air to get high ground whenever he wants. Like, it's crazy. I think the only thing that's maybe a little bit worse than some of the other characters is like his ult with the wall or whatever, the damage boost wall, but whatever. I think he's so incredible. If you guys want a really easy to play support that can probably carry you through the ranks if you get decent at him, pick Baptiste. They're nerfing Brig. I have no idea why they're nerfing Brig. I think the only reason they're nerfing Brig is because of high tiers of play. So now we're going back to nerfing stuff based off the 1% of the player base in your top 500 and above matches. Why are you balancing the game based off your top 500 and above matches when that is literally 1% of the player base? Because I literally don't see Brig at all. I think out of all the supports in the entire game, I think Brig has to have the lowest pick rate. especially like your lower to mid tier ranks. I don't see her at all. I think she's literally only a support that actually gets picked in your higher tiers of games, like your top 500 and above. I don't see her in any of my ranks at all. Even in Platinum, she barely gets picked. And when she does, she just falls over and dies half the time because she's not that good. You have to have like an entire team that plays with her, or like somebody to play around her, or like play with. So, I don't know. I think Brig needs buffs. I don't think she needs to be nerfed. I think she needs a lot of buffs. I don't think she's that good. I think she's probably one of the supports in the game right now that's lacking the most, if I'm being real. But they're gonna go ahead and nerf her based off the 1% of the player base, like usual. Not for the majority of balance. They're gonna go base the balance off the minority for whatever reason. That makes a lot of sense. Who gives a fuck about the top 500 and above players? I don't. If they don't like it, they can go play on a custom patch. There's custom games they can make their own patch and go play on that. And then we have Juno. I think Juno, they didn't even buff. These balance changes? These are the most other clueless balance changes ever. Why the fuck are they touching the Medi Blaster when the main thing that Juno is good for is her fucking broken game-breaking ult? She literally has the best ult in the entire game, and they don't nerf the ult, they nerf the Medi Blaster again. Didn't you not learn when she was put in the fucking game they nerfed the Medi Blaster? I'm pretty sure these are the same numbers that they have initially tried when she was first released, and like a week or two after they ended up reverting them. Isn't that what they did? I'm pretty sure they reverted back to where the numbers that they tried to release her with when she got released last season. And then they nerfed it, or they ended up buffing them and changing them back to what they were in like the play test, like 2 weeks afterward. That's pretty much what this is. Instead of actually changing the issue with her, which is mainly broken, the two things that are actually really good with her is her mobility, which never got touched. And the other thing that makes her absolutely broken is her ult. She has the best ult in the entire game. Every time you have a Juno ult, you win every fight. The only other way to win versus a Juno ult is with your own Juno ult. If you have to literally plan your ult to meet another enemy Juno ult to try to even stay in a match and not lose a fight, there's a fucking issue balance-wise. I don't know. Again, it just goes to show you how fucking stupid the balance team for this game is when the Medi Blaster wasn't the problem. The problem with Juno is her mobility is too fucking good, and her ult is the main problem. Her ult never changed. Still, Juno's gonna be incredibly busted. By far, probably the best support in the game, or probably like top 3 best supports is Juno. Juno, Ana, and then maybe you can argue like Baptiste. Maybe like top 3. There's probably 1 or 2 others you can maybe slot in there. I don't know. Apart from that, there's no other changes here too. We got some map updates for Clash. Whatever, who cares? Remove Clash from the game and give us 2 CP. Why do you keep wasting time on a game mode that is garbage and dead on release? What a waste of time. And then we got some other individual map changes. I'm not going to go through all these because I need visual representation, like actually know what they look like on the map and what actually changed to be able to explain them to you guys, and I just don't have that here. It's in word form, and I have no idea what they're actually talking about, so we'll see all the map changes once the patch goes live tomorrow, or depending on when you guys are seeing this, it might already be live for you. So whatever. My only issue here is like there's also not enough balance changes here. Where is the Roadhog buffs? Where is Venture? Venture's not on here. Keep in mind too, y'all, they actually showcased the Battle Pass. They gave the Battle Pass to a bunch of content creators for free today. Venture not only never got a skin this patch, she never got any voice lines, she never got one single highlight intro, she never got an emote, and she never got any sprays. Or like weapon charms either that are like in her theme. She never got like one cosmetic. No Venture cosmetics this season. If season 14 is not an entire season literally spammed and like maxed out with a bunch of Venture cosmetics to make up for the 4 seasons she has not had anything, then we literally have to start going to Blizzard HQ with pitchforks and stakes, because we got to throw a riot. We got to go after Blizzard HQ because I think there's a problem. Holy shit. Venture should be on here. She's garbage. I had somebody telling me that Venture's actually balanced. I don't know if they actually play the game or not, or if they just go based off of what they see in their higher tiers of play. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but like if you guys watch my videos, like Venture's my most played DPS. If I knew Venture would actually be balanced, I would tell you guys. And she's my most played DPS. She's not balanced. She's really bad. She's really, really bad. There's literally no reason to play her apart from actually playing her because you like to play her as a hero and you think she's fun, or playing her for like the hero she currently is. Or if you want to actually win, there's actually way better shit to actually play. There's literally no reason to play her with how bad she is. What else? Reaper's not here. Mercy, Blue Beam needs to be nerfed. That's not here. What else? There's a bunch of other shit here that needs to be changed too. What else? Zarya nerfs. Roadhog buffs, I think I said that already. Wrecking Ball could use some changes. Winston, where's Winston? Not on here at all. Gone again. I don't know where the fuck he went. There's a few DPS too that are also really lacking, like, I don't know, Symmetra could use some change. I think she's still pretty damn weak. She's really situational, but I don't know. There's a few other DPS that are probably, I don't know. I'll end up thinking of them when I'm not recording, but I just can't think of them off the top of my head right now. But there's a bunch of shit here. Just keep in mind, there's a bunch of balance changes that are not even on here, that should be on here, and they're not. So I don't know, another balance patch with a bunch of shit that makes no sense. Apart from one really good change to Sombra, finally getting her in balance and actually pretty much nerfing her into the ground and making her actually have like a playability to where you can actually fight back against her and she just can't sit and spawn camp you half the time or just farm you for free without you even be able to react. That's the only major good balance change for this. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I don't know, at least for me, I wasn't expecting much because Season 13 is, like I said, it's going to be a filler season, so I didn't really expect very much, especially balance-wise. I was kind of disappointed we never got even more balance changes. There's a lot of shit here that isn't even included on the list for like Reaper and a few other things that I was really hoping they would change. Nothing like that at least, so. And like half the shit they did change makes no sense, or they nerfed the wrong thing, like i.e. Juno. Like, why the fuck they would touch the Medic Blaster for Juno when the main problem with her is her mobility and her ult. Like, that just goes to show you they have no idea how to balance the game, or they probably don't even play their own game. So, whatever. This video went way longer than I wanted it to. I said at the start I was going to try to keep it shorter, but it ended up going way longer. There's a lot of balance I wanted to talk about. You guys gotta bear with me. A lot of shit I wanted to talk about, so. Apart from that, I will be playing probably tomorrow night and on Wednesday night, so. I'm going to try to play the game as much as possible for you guys and see how the game feels. And then I'm going to put together a tier list for you guys, probably either on Wednesday night. I'm going to try to upload it on that day or towards the end of the week. So keep that in mind. That's kind of the plan as of right now. So apart from that, I'm going to get out of here. Peace out, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, the season of everything we got so far. And I'm going to get out of here. Peace out, everybody.